In 2023, I learned something about myself. I love mech games. Armored Core 6 looked fun, but I never imagined the level of enjoyment I got from this game. Hell, Armored Core 6 was the reason why I started making English videos, because I highly doubt that anyone in Germany would care about the level 1 run. And I'm glad I did it this way, because clearly some people cared now, so thanks for that. But ever since that run, I wanted more. I wanted more Armored Core, and lucky for me, there's already a lot of Armored Core out there, but hardly available. Especially the very first game is pretty expensive, and that sucks, considering that I want to play these games chronologically and as authentic as possible. That is a problem. Or rather, was a problem until PlayStation added the first 3 games to their catalog and I was finally able to get my hands on them. In fact, I used this opportunity to actually stream the entire game. And I wanna be honest with you all, coming from a modern game like AC6 to an ancient one like this was a day and night difference. The very first thing you do after starting a new game is battling 2 MTs to get used to the controls. Controls which were not explained to me at all. My first attempt looked like this and didn't really get that much better the second try. I guess you were supposed to read the manual back in the day, but this digital copy didn't have one, and I was simply too stubborn to look it up either, so I spent about 10 minutes in this tutorial to figure this out. You look left and right by tilting the left analog stick. So far so good. And you look up and down by pressing L2 and R2. What the fuck? Yeah, okay, so after finishing the entire game and starting to edit this video, I might have just realized I could have put up and down on the right stick, which is otherwise used for absolutely nothing. No idea why I am like this, but I played the entire game with the button layout I just presented to you. Just to be clear on that. At least it's a little more authentic that way, since the PS1 controller didn't have any analog sticks at all. It still felt really weird, and I haven't even talked about turning around yet. Turning around consists of slowly looking left and right, and you have no hard lock on like AC6, so have fun navigating yourself when enemies surround you in a 3-dimensional space. You can strive left and right, but I honestly didn't dodge anything that way, so I rarely made use of this mechanic at all. This game is fucking clunky. And I'm absolutely in love with it. Okay, so no joke, my first session was painful. I had a very hard time adjusting to this game's controls and felt quite frustrated. I didn't have many options to dodge like in AC6. I was just eating bullets, and when I failed the mission, my credits went below 0. I had depths in this game in under an hour of playtime. But when I started my second session, it clicked with me. This is not AC6, not at all. You have no way of healing in this game. Every step you take matters. Take advantage of the maps, bait enemies out, try to manage your ammo because you don't have a weaponless melee attack. No ammo equals no damage. You don't need to be fast. A lot of the time you have enough time to aim for certain enemies. The game is slower and it's built this way. That's why it works. And once I fully understood this, I was finally able to enjoy this game. Okay, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it to you, but I didn't fully understand this game's story. I read everything in the game and didn't look up anything after I was done, but I'll do my very best to explain the story to you in the way I experienced it while playing. Similar to Armored Core 6, you're doing jobs for different companies who may or may not hate each other. This time, you're part of the Raven's Nest and rank among other AC pilots whose data you can view from the very beginning. Oh, the number 1 AC is called 9-Ball. I wonder whether I'll encounter them. Anyway, so I started my very first job offered by the Chrome company. In this mission, workers are demonstrating for better working conditions, and my job is to deliver the message that that is not happening. One of the best beginnings to any game ever, if I'm being honest. I obviously failed since I was still struggling with controls, fell off the bridge and generally just didn't manage to aim consistently. But what I quickly realized in the following missions is that my energy sword was just like in AC6 super valuable. It did a great amount of damage and all I had to do was just landing in front of the enemies and press the button. This was way quicker than either missing my shots or shooting for way too long while getting shot at the same time. A few missions later, Chrome wants me to fight the terrorist group Struggle, which may or may not be a group of struggling single mothers, but I'm not the one to ask questions. I'm here for the credits, because after half an hour I was still far away from buying anything in the shop. In between these missions we also receive mails from different companies or a character called Aura. Aura is my contact man from the Raven's Nest and usually gives me infos on new fractions or explains other stuff to newcomer Ravens. After the newest Chrome mission, he tells me that Struggle is an armed group that has sworn to fight Chrome and is famous among the militaristic factions for being well armed. That brings up the question where they get their gear, and according to Aura, the only other corporation that has the power to resist Chrome is Murakumo Millennium. And from this point on, you will receive different missions from Chrome as well as from Murakumo. As far as I know, there's only one ending in this game, but according to which mission you will do, other missions will either disappear or never come up in the first place. Murakumo's first mission instantly wants me to attack Chrome's gun emplacement, barely outside the territory, and if AC6 taught me one thing, then that these corporation back and forths are funny as hell, so I decided to go ahead and fuck up Chrome. This mission showcased once again what kind of game Armored Core is compared to the newest entry. I have to destroy 4 big weapons at a construction site without the ability to dodge like I'm used to, and walking up to these things was not my best idea. So in my case, I was hiding, waiting, and then face charge right into the chaos, slice one of these guns with my blade and then hide again. The good thing is that enemies can damage each other, so most of the time one of these guns gets destroyed by another one's bullets, making this way easier. The next mission was another one from Murakumo, and I'd say arguably the easiest in the game. A problem in Isaac City's power plant occurred, and I gotta destroy a few harmless worker robots who don't do anything. There is no real enemy there, nothing attacks me. All I have to do is destroy these robots and don't damage the dozens of generators. Hey, that's easy, I thought. Finally a mission to save credits. I just used my energy blade and saved myself from the ammo costs. What could go wrong?
Target achieved.
Wie ist das jetzt passiert? That was, by the way, the very last room. And I didn't even fail the mission, so it was gone that I couldn't retry it. Luckily, I seem to have forgotten to save and had to do the last 3 missions again in my next session, and that time nothing went wrong. Another mission I had much more of a problem with was Stop Terrorist Threat from Isaac City. That one was honestly nothing super special, but it was long. And despite all of these weak MTs, the damage they do adds over time, and when I finally reached the boss, I was almost dead. Not being able to heal is really unusual for me, but at the same time it's really fun to have this kind of a challenge. The boss itself was a bitch, but speaking of bitches, my next mission was to target Gal City. Of course, this misogynistic attack came from Crow. Just attack the urban area and fire a drill at any attractive target. What kind of incel corporation is that? The mission itself was pretty chill. I was just shooting some cars, MTs, minding my own business, until...
Enemy approaching. Danger.
Uh-oh.
Danger. Danger.
Oh nein, was kommt denn
Name
jetzt?
of AC. Valkyrie.
Oh Gott. I didn't know it at the time, but the number 2 ranking AC Valkyrie suddenly bursts upon the scene and started attacking me. Its theme started playing and I was so stressed that I didn't even see it once. I was just running away in panic, hoping the timer runs out and I could leave the mission. Which luckily happened, but fuck. That was so cool. And I deserved it for doing another stupid Crow mission. Why did I attack the gals? Back to business, Murakumo had another mission for me. They wanted me to perform a secret survey of a chemical dyeing coal research lab, because they heard rumors about a certain company's research, and they even dropped Chrome's name right after it. Completing that one leads to a mail by R about the Human Plus project, developed by Murakumo. They basically replace organs of one's body with artificial replacements for vastly superior abilities. These people are called Plus, and rumors say that even some top-ranking Ravens are Pluses. We don't know why Murakumo developed this, but you know what? I think that's pretty neat and I'm not judging. What I am judging is Chrome, because they've been a major factor in chemical dyeing coal's development, and there are rumors of dangerous experiments going on. This is something I just can't ignore. And speaking of development, Chrome's next mission was for me to test a new automated robot named Chaos. I was already worried about what to expect from this, but when I entered the arena and its theme played, everything I needed to know was communicated without a single word. Aber wie läuft der denn rum? Der macht einen Naruto-Run? This thing was a clown, and I don't mean this in an insulting way. Its music sounds like a circus, it's doing the Naruto run and slides through the map. Chaos is so funny and probably my favorite character in this game, and that's despite it being a robot with no personality. I still love him. Look at him not hitting me while I walk towards him. I won the Chaos plush, and Murakumo's next mission delivered as well after the only good thing Chrome has ever done. They want me to scout the entrance to Chrome's underground factory before they attack them, and I couldn't be happier to do so. But what made the single mission so memorable to me was the soundtrack. Armored Core 6 has a few great songs, but Armored Core is just straight up better when it comes to atmosphere. Not only does this game have a few missions with no music at all, and it always feels like some top-ranking AC is about to jump you, but when they use music, it just hits. I was prepared to kill some robots, but I suddenly entered Winter Wonderland where my soul left my body to vibe to this tune. Chaos wouldn't have been so fun and memorable if it wasn't for the music either. In that department, this game is amazing. Next mission isn't worth mentioning, but there's a game called Dark Soul, and I think almost all of the tanks I'm supposed to destroy just exploded before I got to them. This was all I had to say. My mission after that, Exterminate Organisms, was way more interesting. It came straight from Gal City, and they apparently have a problem with big organic monsters. These things look small, but considering we were piloting a 6-meter AC, they are quite big for normal people. Their queen seems to have a rocket launcher in their bag, so that one is especially fucked up. But right after, R tells me in a mail that these things are no organisms, but are disguised as one and are secretly weapons. This whole scenario was just a test and only either Chrome or Murokumo could be responsible for this. I mean, I know which one already attacked Gal City, and my friends at Murokumo would never do such a thing. This is my morally correct corporation. So then we get a mission from Murokumo about one of their plus experiments who escaped. Loyally like always, I do the job without falling down once, and this is not even a joke. Oh, stabil. Yeah, stupid Chrome propaganda. All of this, by the way, was part of my second session. You can really tell how much I suddenly enjoyed this game. And to end it, I got another Chrome mission. After testing Chaos 0.8, I now test Chaos 0.9, and this mission is a straight up improvement over the last one. Not only is the map now the replica of a city in which Chaos can hide and sneakily shoot around corners, you will also get a great reward after defeating him. Another Chaos 0.9. Seriously, I love this mission. I'm sorry Chatty, but Chaos is my new favorite pilot AI. Look at him go! In the next mission we find out that Murokumo didn't actually create the Human Plus technology and rather something from before the Great Destruction. I honestly don't know what the Great Destruction is, but I just take it as something similar to the fire of Rubicon and roll with it. At this point I also had enough money to finally buy some stuff, so I started experimenting and built a nice little tetrapod. And it was quite good. The fast energy recovery helped me to move faster and more efficient. You sadly can't fly around like an AC-6, but it still felt like an upgrade. Next mission came straight from the Raven's Nest, and they wanted to invite me to some kind of tournament with quote AC to AC battles. Sounds good, right? Well, it would have been if the very first fight wouldn't have been 2 versus 1 with some of the highest ranking pilots. What the fuck was that all about? Over the next few missions, I noticed that my energy blade wasn't hitting the enemies properly anymore. Most likely because of my giant tetrapod legs, so I replaced those and could finally play again. After the vertical hellhole this mission was, I managed to quickly clear the upcoming missions as well. Or so I thought, because it was then when I entered Retake Air Cleaner. I feel like I know the reaction of most people who have played this game before. What mission was this? Because in itself, this level is not difficult, but it's a fucking maze. This level consists of one big room and like 12 different entries to somewhere else, and most of them are connected, so every time you think, oh, that gotta be the one, you end up somewhere you've already been. And I kept forgetting where I already went to, so I repeated the same mistakes over and over again while a lot of enemies damaged and ultimately killed me. Hell, I found the secret weapon in this level before my actual objective. When I finally knew where I had to go, I went through every other way before. And what is the correct way now? It's that one right there, and I already was there, but I thought there was just a dead end. I hate this mission, simply due to my own incapacity. After that shit, I just had to beat someone up. Oh, perfect. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at this point I've entered my precious Murokumo route and fought the true evil. So I went there, ready to kick ass. What could possibly be waiting for me? It was 3 chaoses. 3 fucking chaoses at the very same time, and the goofy theme suddenly became serious. I knew I was fucked. And the game knew as well, so they didn't even give me another chance after I failed. Suddenly, my next mission was mop up Chrome remnants. I guess someone else took care of them? Well, at least they are dead. Entering this mission, I didn't really thought about what kind of enemies I could encounter. I thought it would be a normal mission. And it was actually kinda tense and scary, considering that I was just going through giant rooms with very few enemies. It really felt like Chrome was done for, and these are the last survivors. No music was playing during this section, and it felt off. This was way too easy. And when I got back to the surface, a giant robot was waiting for me. And destroyed me. But not only that, for the very first time, a cutscene played after failing a mission. And this time, I didn't go back to the menu with a few negative credits. The game reloaded and put me back to the title screen. This is the first mission that canonically kills you, and from here on out, failing a mission will always result in that screen. This is also the only time that I actually started using the save state function, but not to cheese the game. Whenever I fail a mission, I do a save right before it, so that I could just reload the state and not sit through all the loading again. Since I get game overs now, I don't lose credits anymore, and I don't benefit from these save states otherwise. Alright, so where was I? I just failed 3 or 4 missions in a row until I got my first game over. In my eyes, this looked like a bad ending, so I wanted to successfully complete all of these missions on my second try. The 3 chaoses were a huge problem, so I picked up a new weapon from the shop and did the only thing I could think of. Flying outside the walls and waiting for the chaoses to come, one at a time, so I didn't get damaged from all sides. While I don't have any patience for delivery men, I have a lot of patience for shit like this and slowly got through it. After destroying the first one, the other 2 decided to just stand in place and actively work against my plan. No idea whether this was a glitch or not, but I still managed to cheese them by hiding in a different spot. With this new bazooka I had, the giant robot wasn't that much of a problem either, honestly. I ignored as many enemies as possible and got to the boss with a good amount of health and a lot of ammo. Hiding was another deciding factor in this fight as well, but I take what I can take. Fuck Chrome, this is for my boys. And this resulted in another cutscene.
The struggle for market share between Murakumo and the up-and-coming Verge company is becoming more and more intense. Future developments look interesting.
So, nothing has changed after all.
And I gotta be honest, I don't really get what's happening there. And my confusion only got worse when my next mission was mop up Chrome remnants. Again? But this time from the Raven's Nest? And this mission's atmosphere is even more eerie because this time there are no enemies at all. I just fly through this empty map looking for anyone really. And only a few rooms later, the radio tells me to turn back. Nothing would be left. And they were right. There was nothing left in this base. Except for me. Me and all these ambushing MTs who were just waiting for me. Seriously, fuck the Raven's Nest. First the 2 versus 1 fight and then this. I can't take this anymore. So I took my robot legs and flew right back to the surface. Just to hear,
"You are still alive, but we will end that now. Don't you understand? You are totally out of line. You are going overboard."
Enemy ranking AC, identified as Sledgehammer.
what the fuck does Sledgehammer want from me? He's not even above my rank at this point. How can you be lower than me? And what do you mean I'm totally out of line? The fuck have I been doing? Please tell me, because I legitimately don't know. I've just been doing missions from the blackboard. How could I even be remotely out of line? In AC6 I can at least actively choose a side, but now? What have I done? After beating his ass on my second try, I enter a level every Armored Core fan will remember. Destroy floating mines. I never saw such an important mission in any game ever that looks and reads like the most basic filler mission, but I'll get to that point later. This mission starts with a room full of enemies and me being too stupid to activate an elevator. I'm not kidding, I was there for almost 20 minutes and didn't figure out how to start this thing. I pressed any button, I shot every pixel, nothing happened. Next session, it instantly worked. Below that elevator, another room full of enemies was waiting for me and destroyed me. These 2 rooms had so much manpower, I didn't see how I could ever handle this with my current AC. So I decided to finally do it. Go to the shop, sell all my stuff and build the tankiest monster possible. I got myself some nice tank legs, machine gun arms, and I also equipped the weapon I found in the other level. That weapon is a dual missile launcher and an absolute beast. It locks onto everything in my sight and shoots 6 missiles at once. With this setup, this mission got nothing on me. I only had to clear the second room and then destroy the floating mines like the mission name said.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Huh?
Stop such foolishness.
For the first time in this game, a mission suddenly has a second half which restored all of my health and ammo. I had no idea what I was getting into. Before me was a vertical room, about as high as Snoop Dogg during his prime, filled with 2 fast moving MTs, a trillion stationary guns and platforms. a lot of moving platforms. I didn't expect to play the mech version of Only Up, but here I am doing exactly this. I'm honestly not so sure how hard this is with a normal AC and a strong generator, but I didn't have that. I had a heavy ass tank which blocked way too much of my view when I tried to look up, and I had to look up a lot of times. I'm so glad there was no time limit, but I still had some kind of limit, and that was my health and ammo. My ammo was pretty limited, and these fast moving ACs took a lot of dual missiles from me. Then I have to clear all these gun towers with my cannons, don't take too much damage, and I have no idea what's even waiting for me at the top. So I started to climb. Fall, climb, climb more successfully and fall deeper than ever. This section did something to me, something I would never wish to anyone else. But at the same time, I would try again with another AC build, but this is either Stockholm Syndrome or my masochistic side. I don't know, but fuck that section. I think it took me around 1 hour to climb this. And the worst part was when I realized that this wasn't the end. I had 4 more shots and only 5k health left, when I suddenly heard,
Your fate is sealed.
Enemy ranking AC identified as 9-ball.
So I know about 9-ball. Not a lot, but I know that he's a nightmare. And I have to fight him here? Out of all the places in the entire game, it had to be here? How the fuck would I ever manage to have the ammo to do that? I already gave up on the inside and let myself fall through the hole before me. Reminiscing about this Cat and Raven section from Gravity Rush in the video script I started about the game, which I still not completed, but I should have. I ended up in a small corridor with AMT in front of me. I used 3 out of my 4 shots to destroy it and then asked myself, why the mission couldn't be over now. And then 9-ball jump scared me. Warum kann die Mission jetzt nicht vorbei sein und dann... I slowly started realizing that I didn't have to fight him, I had to run away, but watching my health melt while being shot didn't give me much hope at all. On the other side of the corridor, I had to climb the same way I fell down. From my point of view, I probably did it as fast as a tank like me could do it. I didn't hear or see 9-ball anymore, but sometimes he just popped out of nowhere and shot me. My health went down. I arrived at the top, but it was too late. He got me. So close, I think, but yet so far. I was done for the day. But in the same way, very motivated to beat this level. The Only Up section was once again a giant pain in my ass, but I played as optimal as possible. This time I arrived with a little over 6000 health and no ammo. But who needs ammo? I just need to flee. My biggest mistake last time was standing around so 9-ball could catch up and damage me in the beginning. So this time I would do everything right. I jumped down the hole, thought about Cat and Raven again and ignored every single MT on my way. This time I was able to start climbing on the other side before encountering 9-ball at all, but just like last time, it felt like he popped out of nowhere. He found me, and he didn't miss. He somehow did even more damage than before. I ran for my life and even reached the top with 1500 HP. All I had to do now was flying straight up. Willst du mich verarschen? Warum steht er auf meinem Kopf? He jumped on my head several times. He bounced on me. At least that was a time frame in which he couldn't damage me, so when I managed to slip through, I felt like the mission was over. But it wasn't. There was still a long hallway in front of me and 9-ball catched up. Another MT was standing in my way as well. Shots from the back, shots from the front, and my health reached 7. That was it. One more projectile and it was over. I prayed, moving so that I could at least get by that MT. A straight line was a death sentence to me, but for some reason I didn't see any more shots at me. I still kept moving and actually witnessed a few lasers missing me. And there it was, the target of the mission. I kept going forward and flew up to the target. Like a madman I pressed the circle button, hoping I would activate something, but nothing happened. I hid behind the target so I couldn't get hit, only to realize that I had to destroy that thing. But unlike AC6 where you can punch and kick, there is no way in the first Armored Core game to do damage without ammo. I managed to survive all the way up until now, with 7 health, only for the final objection not being possible to be completed now. And to be honest, that was it. I didn't do it. I'm 100% honest when I say that neither in this try nor in another did I ever destroy the target. Hab ich's? Because 9ball did it himself. Remember when I said in the beginning that enemies could damage each other? They can also damage objects, and 9ball, that stupid asshole, blew that, whatever this even is, up himself. Are you satisfied with destroying orders? Yeah, are you, 9ball? Because neither did I do this, nor did I come here to do this in the first place. I came here to clean up some floating mines. I didn't know that this thing was here. In Germany we could call me a Schlafschaf because I was blindly following my objections. I'm not at fault here. I was super nice the entire time, and you guys, including Sledgehammer, just picked on me. Me and my AC Murakumo didn't do anything wrong. So this machine that presumably managed order in some way or another was blown up, and this was the end of the game. I'm not trying to talk the story of this game down, I'm honestly asking everyone watching this to explain what happened to me. I understood the whole Chrome and Murakumo dispute, but after that one cutscene I couldn't follow. But I still loved it. And I'm honestly really proud of finishing the game. This was an absolute blast. Once you clear the final mission, you can play any other mission as well. The ones you completed as well as the ones you didn't. And that means that I was able to do all the missions against Murakumo as well, and they have pretty nice maps unlike Chrome. I don't really want to go through all of these, since my new build was able to deal with most of them pretty easily. There were a few annoying missions and some absolute great maps with secrets, but you know what? If this video gets some of the people interested that watch my AC6 videos, I don't want to take away every single surprise the game has to offer. Go check it out, it's really good. By the way, I ended up with 600,000 credits in depth because my ammo is just so fucking expensive, but who cares? The build rocks and I can easily farm it back now. If you're German, you can check out how I played the game on stream on my second channel, and if you're not German, give me the view and a like, come on, you can still see my reactions for certain parts. I think I'll definitely come back to this game at some point. Maybe for a challenge, but I'll definitely buy out the entire shop and grind the credits on stream. The streams are German as well as English, so just say hi in chat and we can talk about this franchise all day long. By the time this video is done, we'll probably have around July. Oh my fucking god. That means it's been 1 month since I finished this game. And that means the time has come for a new game. Seriously, come to Twitch if you want to see me play these games for the first time. Thank you so much for watching the video. I haven't been active in the last few months, so I'm even more thankful for everyone watching this one. Armored Core is the reason I've been doing videos like this, and I will always be thankful for that. I fell in love with this franchise, and I want to play as many of its games as possible. Please leave a like if you think I deserve it, and I'm also super happy about any kind of feedback in the comments. If you're new here, consider subscribing. That's it for now, and I hope to see you all again. Stay safe and have a great day.